Alright, good morning everybody. It's a beautiful day out here. Good day to get some work done. So today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a day in the life of a part-time traveling mechanic, which is what I do. I'll just show you what it's like to be me, take you along for the ride for a day. So for those of you who don't know what a traveling mechanic is, basically it's a mechanic, but instead of having a shop that people bring their cars to you and then you work on their cars in the shop, you go to their place and then fix their car on site. So it's a really good way of, if you can't afford, let's say if you can't afford your own shop, then you can just go to their site and then fix it there. So that's the main reason I do it. Also, you don't have to do as complicated repairs as regular shops do. So usually my repairs are just somebody can't start the car, I have to go jump start it for them, replace a battery. Maybe they have a flat tire, I fix the flat tire. I've done a lot of brake jobs, so let's say their brakes aren't working right, I just go replace the master cylinder, replace the brake pads, replace a brake line, something easy like that. And I could just throw my welder in the back of the car too, so I can replace brake lines pretty easily. I would say the hardest job I've had to do doing this is just like a head gasket or an intake manifold gasket, which compared to a real shop, they have to, you know, replace pistons, rings, you know, a lot of, maybe rebore a whole engine, rebuild a whole engine. So I don't have to do any of that. I just have to do easy repairs and get good money for it because I can charge high hourly since I'm going all the way to their house. And I only work part-time, as you guys know, because I also do my own lawnmower repairs and then work for the local police department and make YouTube videos. So let me show you what I do on my usual day as a part-time traveling mechanic. To start my day, every morning in the winter, I make a fire here, then I go out, feed the chickens. That's their coop down there. And I let Beetle out for a walk. Today Beetle's at my father's work, so don't need to deal with her today. Alright, let's light her up. Alright, the fire is made, and the chickens gave me a bunch of eggs. And so I'll cook up some of those chicken eggs and then eat them for breakfast, and then we'll get started with the work day. So pretty much every day, the first thing I do is work on my own personal project, which in this case right now is the Toyota Tundra. So what I need to do today on this is I need to get it running because I replaced the intake manifold gasket and it was running beautifully, and then I lost I drained the battery on it. I charged it back up and it wouldn't start for some reason, so I need to try to get that running. And then I need to do a little bit of painting on the bodywork because as you can see it's painted the wrong color. So let's do this and see when our first call comes in. Alright, and let's fire up the old S10 for the jump start. Mint. Alright, so as you can see the jumper cables are hooked up. I'll try to start the Tundra, but usually, I mean, it's not going to start. It has fuel pressure, I can tell because the fuel keeps spurting out if I take off the gas line. Alright, so basically what I did was I tightened all the bolts on the intake manifold gasket. So let's see what it does. Let's give the battery a couple of minutes to charge. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of painting while the S10's charging it. Alright, and let's give the engine another go. Sounds like we're getting a little closer. Let's let her charge up a bit more. Alright, I just got the first call of the day. It's about 10:30 a.m. He's about 40 minutes away from me. So let's load up the S10 and head over there. Alright, so I'll head back to this Tundra later. But first let's go to the first client's house. Alright, so the first thing I do when I get a job is finish whatever I'm doing at home. There's always something to do at home. And I do some research. So in this case, we're replacing an ignition lock cylinder in a Honda CRV. So basically what my research told me is you need a Dremel tool. So I went, found my Dremel, and you need a chisel and then a screwdriver set. So chisel and a screwdriver set. I got them both. And then basically this is just like any other lock cylinder. It's got an anti-theft device, and then it's just got a couple of screws. So it should be no big deal. Should have this job done in probably an hour, plus the 40-minute drive there and back. So total 2 hours, 20 minutes, $50 an hour. You do the math. So let's get her done. Here we go. Right, so there's the car. This is the perfect job. He's already got the part for me. All I have to do is install it. So let's get going. All right, let's get this ignition cylinder out of here. So this was by far the hardest part of the job. There are these anti-theft screws that don't have any thing on the top. So what I had to do was I had to Dremel a Phillips bit there and then stick my screwdriver in and get it out. But it's pretty difficult to get to. There's one more, so let's do that one. So here's the bracket removed, and there's my other Dremeled bit. Yeah, there's the old one out. Okay, so these two look pretty similar, except for the new one's missing this piece. So I'm thinking maybe I have to transfer this one over to that one, but we'll see. I think I'll have to do that. Alright, job's done. Really easy installation, kind of harder to remove with those anti-theft bolts. But everything's back where it belongs. The car won't start because you need to get the key reprogrammed by a locksmith before you can have it, get the engine to work. But as you can see, the key now turns in the ignition. So it works. So the issue is fixed. And this was the old ignition. This is what the key would do. Just wouldn't turn because the lock cylinder wore out. So once he gets this reprogrammed by a locksmith, it should work. Alright, so I was on the road home. That job took me an hour. Like I said, 40 minutes of driving both ways, so an hour, 20 minutes. I'm on the road home, and I just got another call from a guy whose car won't start, and they say they just need a jump start. So let's go over there, give them a jump start, and then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, so we're coming into the town now. Basically, it's at the local general store here, and they said the car is no surprise, it's a Land Rover, I think a Discovery or something, but I'm not surprised. Land Rover has a lot of electrical issues, but there aren't that many around, but I will say they're not very reliable. So let's go see if we can find it. Alright, so here's the store up here. Probably not going to be able to record much because it's kind of crowded. See where it is. There it is. See it? Right there. There's so many people here. I don't really want to record. I'll just probably pull my truck up beside them, hook up the jumper cables, and start her up. Okay, so it turns out that she also had a fuse in her Land Rover that was bad, I think, for the blower fan, and she wanted to know if I could do that too. I told her of course I could, so I came into the store. It's a 20 amp right there, so I'll just go install it for her. There it goes. Everything fixed up. Basically I just pulled up to them there, jump started it, pulled the fuse box out, replaced the fuse, everything was good to go. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, I'm now heading to probably what is the last job of the day. This is actually a long-term contract I have between somebody and their car. So we're restoring together a 1972 Triumph Spitfire. Basically, I just go to their house, work on it a bunch. They pay for the parts and then pay me. They don't really do anything, but it's theirs and they want it to be restored. So let's restore this thing. I'll probably spend a couple hours there. That'll bring us to the end of the day, drive back home. It's about an hour drive from me to them, which is why it'll take a while. But anyway, let's just head on down there. Here's their road here. I'll fix up the old Triumph. I work for them for less of a price than the other people because I spend so much time there that, like, if I did them hourly rate, I'd be overcharging them. So instead of 50 an hour, I think I do like 25 an hour or something plus driving money. Alright, we're pulling into their house now. I hope you guys can't tell where the hell I am because I don't want to give up their privacy. But, there's their driveway, so let me shut the camera off. Back to work on the Spitfire. Today I'm going to try to make it run by itself, so I'm just going to replace the fuel pump down there. And then run it off of a gas tank, so we don't need to run it off of the gas tank back there, which is probably contaminated with stuff. So there's the new fuel pump. Let's put it in. Alright, so I got the fuel pump hooked in, lines into the gas tank here, going to the new fuel pump. I lost the gasket to the fuel pump, so it may run a little bit lean, but let's see if it goes. Gotta jump the solenoid. Come on, boy. There she goes. Oh yeah! Alright, finished with the Triumph. Basically what you saw what I did, just got it running off that gas tank. Didn't do much at all, not much at all. But time to head home and count up our pay, maybe work in the Tundra a little more, and call it a day. Alright, we're back home. Today was a pretty good day. We got some high-paying jobs. This was actually one of the more interesting days because I did less jobs that were longer instead of doing a bunch of short jobs like just a ton of tire changes or a ton of fix-a-flats or a ton of jump starts. I actually got to do some other jobs and spent more time on them with the drive and the whole thing, but it was pretty interesting. In total today, we drove 116 miles pretty much exactly. Obviously, I get reimbursed for the driving when I charge them. I'm going to call it a day here. I may do a little bit more work on the Tundra. Unfortunately, we did not get that running today, but I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm going to show you my pay for the day in just a second. Alright, so here's how much money I earned today. I spent a total of 2 hours and 20 minutes for the Honda CRV at $50 an hour, which equals to $116 for the CRV. Then for the Land Rover, I charged them for half an hour, which comes to $25. And for the Triumph, I charged them $25 an hour, and I spent 2 hours driving and 1 hour there fixing it, so that comes to $75. Total this day, today, I made $216, which is not bad at all. And obviously some of that will go into gas, so I lose some of that. But don't forget, I also did some work on the Tundra today, and when I sell that, that should add more money into the bank account. So that's how much I made today. So hopefully this was helpful to some people or just interesting to watch. And thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe.